Can you believe it? In about 30 years, the Sun will enter an extremely rare cycle that will make the Earth enter the Little Ice Age worse than it was in the 17th century. Why is that? Let's find out right in this video. Earth will enter a new Ice Age. Most of us are familiar with the usual ice age that took place on our planet. It is a long-term decrease in the temperatures of Earth's climates, leading to the expansions of continental ice sheets, polar ice sheets, and mountain glaciers. This cold climate can bring some negative consequences and cause people to adapt to new environmental conditions. According to NASA scientists, by 2050, humanity will have a problem, that is, the Sun will be significantly weakened. The solar energy supply to the Earth will be greatly weakened. This will likely cause the Earth to enter a new ice age. The reason scientists say so is because when they study the Sun, they discovered that its activity follows a cycle. Specifically, the operating cycle from solar energies lasts for an average of 11 years. This is the term for the periodic change in the number of sunspots on its surface, in which when the Sun has the fewest sunspots, it is called the minimum period. And when the Sun is most active, the most sunspots are called the maximum phase. According to the study, the peak period will usually increase the number of sunspots, solar flares, and magnetic storms. Sunspots are the starting signs for explosions and events that release light, matter, and energy into space. The impact of this period is not small because magnetic storms can disrupt radio communication systems, damage satellites, and affect the electrical system on Earth. In addition, during peak periods, the Sun's activity can affect power grids, aviation, rockets, GPS, satellites, and astronauts in space. And recently, in a new study of the Sun from the University of California, it is predicted that the next period of the Sun's minimum is in 2050. They also predict that at this time, the Sun will fall into an irregular period best. It is during this time that the Sun will become very cold. This prolonged sunspot minimum period occurred during the Little Ice Age. During this time, temperatures in Europe and North America were recorded to be much lower than average. Additionally, the researchers show that ultraviolet light output is more variable during the solar cycle, and that low solar activity leads to colder winters in parts of Southern Europe, Canada, Northern Europe, and America. In the 17th century, when the prolonged sunspot minimum cycle took place, England's Thames turned into a glacier because of its unusual low temperatures. Even the Baltic Sea has extremely rare ice, and the thickness of the ice reaches unimaginable levels. During that time, the Swedish army directly crossed the Baltic Sea into Denmark. For this phenomenon, American physicist Dan Lubin has conducted special research on the prolonged sunspot minimum period. He believes that the phenomenon of some areas of the Earth becoming colder is closely related to the Sun's prolonged sunspot minimum period. Once the Sun enters this cycle, not only will its ultraviolet rays be significantly weakened, but its luminosity will also decrease. As a result, the amount of heat received from the Sun by the Earth will be greatly reduced, and this will lead to a series of frozen areas. And when the Sun enters the maximum period, the ultraviolet rays and light intensity received by the Earth will also increase many times. Weakening solar energy will lead to a thinning of the Earth's stratospheric ozone layer. The atmospheric currents below will change and cause impacts on weather and the environment. But experts also point out that the effects of the sun's prolonged sunspot minimum cycle are uneven. As a result, Europe and North America will become extremely cold and southern Greenland will become warmer. Talking about the impact of this cycle, does it have a positive impact on global warming? Although the Little Ice Age could not completely prevent climate change, a prolonged sunspot minimum could slow global warming. In addition, although the temperature of some parts of the Earth can drop to -degrees during the prolonged sunspot minimum period, global warming is still the main trend. However, it must be noted that the magnitude of the minor glacial period cannot be compared with other long and intense periods that our planet has had at the glacial level. If the above prediction is correct, people on the planet will have certain difficulties, especially a colder cold, but it will probably be a breath of fresh air and never better for the Earth. With temperatures and pollution levels on the rise, an ice age could be just what the planet needs to regain the balance it so desperately needs for things to go as they should. Today's video comes to an end. Hopefully the information we provide will help you have more information about the new ice age that can take place on this planet. Don't forget to press the subscribe button, share and like this video to support us. Goodbye and see you in the next videos.